And I lost my mind. I mean, I literally, I was so like, that was my
You
baby
just saw
sister.
black. You saw black.
You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing. I don't see red. I see when I lose my mind, I lose my mind. But it was just like, how could, you know what I mean? Like, that was my baby sister.
Oh my God.
And I never, my parents, God bless them, but, I mean, as long as you were taking care of yours, you didn't get in trouble for it.
Right. Okay, so you didn't get in trouble for.
Oh, no, no, no,
No, no, no,
no.
no.
And then there was a girl at the bar, and I was working at the bar one day, and she used to work at the local paper, and she was my boss.
Mm-hmm.
And she was coming, she was so sauced. And everybody there had kids, you know what I mean? Like, one of my best friends had 8 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they close down the bar, everybody loses.
Mm-hmm.
Not just the customers, but mainly all the employees and their
Yeah,
families.
yeah, yeah.
And so I kept, the girl's name was Wendy, and I kept on saying to her, Wendy, you can't come, you're coming in sauced. Like, I can't serve you like this. And she, kept on just, trying to bogart me. I was still young, and,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And my husband at the time had started being the door person then, and he went behind her back and was just standing there with his hands on his hips, wasn't doing nothing to her at all. You know what I mean? Like, nothing. And she was, talking crap. It was about like day 3 or 4 of it, and I was like, I'm not serving you today. I
Mm-hmm.
keep on telling you I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I'm not putting other people in peril, so. And she turned around and saw him, and she called him out of his name. And she let that N-word fly out of her mouth. And I'm telling you, miniskirt or not, I came over that cooler and over that bar, and I dragged, it was like an oval bar. I dragged her around that bar. I'm lucky I didn't kill that girl. And that was it for me. That was in the 80s, and I have never, ever used that word. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not like, unless it was like in a description,
Right.
like in a story or whatever. You know
Right.
what I mean? Or like the people who will come up, or have people come up and say, well, you didn't say your husband was black. I was working with
So who cares?
my last husband.
My husband is my husband. Who gives a
My
fuck what
last
color
husband
he
was in the
is?
military. I was working with this lady, and I guess you're not supposed to mix with, who's a higher up than your husband.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we were working on sending some stuff, overseas to the guys. And we needed some craft supplies. Well, I had a ton of craft supplies at my house. So I was like, I'll donate them. I don't, let's just stop there. And when you walked in my front door, I had, like a cross, and I had like praying hands, but like one was a black set and one was a white set of hands.
Mm-hmm.
And then our wedding pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And she literally like went to step over the threshold. And when she went to do that, she was like, you didn't say your husband was black. What does that have to do with the price of rice? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? You're not going to go pick him up at the airport. Then I'd have to give you a description of him.
Right, exactly. I didn't have to give you.
He's not even here. He's out to sea with your husband.
Right,
you know
right,
I mean?
right.
Like, we're sending stuff over it. And, the things you run into with people that just, your skin is an organ. It's the largest organ we have, but it has nothing to do with the content of your character.
Nothing at all to do with the
Like,
content
if you
of
can't
your
be
character.
a decent human being, it's not hard. Because
Yeah.
everybody knows what's acceptable to them. So just put yourself in the other person's shoes and don't do nothing to them you wouldn't want done to you.
Right.
It's real simple.
Right.
You know what I mean? In the last few years, I lost my baby sister, my baby brother. You know what I mean? My oldest brother, their natural child, he don't talk to me at all. Hasn't for ever. You know what I mean? Which that's his choice. He's gay, but he was married. He married the same girl several times. And the long and short of that was that when I was with my last husband, he wasn't that involved with his kids.
Right.
And I'll be the first to say that he wasn't.
Right.
That being said, I will not take credit away from him for one thing, and that thing being, he never had to be dragged to a court to
pay
tell
support.
him to pay child support.
Right.
He always paid his child support. He was in the military, so he wasn't there. They were all in different states, and you know what I mean?
Right.
And yes, it went very badly afterwards, but at the time that my brother stopped speaking to me, his wife was something typing on the internet, and she didn't like my response to, defending him in that manner. I wasn't defending everything about him. I was defending that one thing. He didn't
Because he did something right. You were pointing out what he did right.
A judge didn't have to tell him to pay money.
Right.
There's way more to being a father than paying money, don't get me wrong.
Right. But yeah.
And my brother, who swore he'd never stopped, he had already stopped speaking to us like for 10 years earlier than that.
Mm-hmm.
And he swore he'd never do it again, and got mad because my mom, before she died, she didn't want to get back talking to him. And I kind of pushed everybody together to do that. But my mom said, he's going to walk out of your life again. But I didn't want my mother to die with her only natural child not speaking to her.
Oh.
You know what I mean? That to me was like, if he walks out again, if I survived it once, I'll survive it again. If
right.
my brother, I got to give him credit because he taught me that I can love him just as much from a distance. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's so
if he
sad.
called me right now and said, I need your help, I'd be there. You know what I mean? I love my brother. He can never change that. He cannot talk to me only once.
Right.
I thought maybe once he got in a happy relationship, maybe it would change. But I think, now there's so much water under the bridge, it's been decades.
Right.
That it just is what it is. But it doesn't make me love him any less.
Right.
I don't like his behavior that much sometimes, but he's starting to come around and help my dad with some stuff, and I think that's really good.
So your dad is back single again?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank God she didn't outlive him. That's all I gotta say. Thank God. That's what I say about my dad too. I mean, he loved the woman, the second wife that he married.
Mm-hmm.
But she was an evil bitch. I didn't care. I didn't have to sleep with her.
But
she made him happy, but she was. Thank God he didn't go first because.
Why do you have to hate the kids? I've been a step parent.
Right. She was jealous of me.
I just don't get why you have to hate them.
I don't get it either.
I still talk with my ex-husband's children. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't get it.
It's not them.
I can't stand an ex. I can't talk to an ex.
See, I'm lucky.
When I'm fucking done with you, I am typically done with you.
Well, I probably go through a 2-year grace period. I have a couple of years where I don't have lots to say to you. You know what I mean? But after that,
eventually,
I calm down.
Well, my ex-husband was so brutal to me. I remember I saw him probably, I want to say, I saw him 6 months before he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I had driven to Massachusetts from Maryland because my daughter was staying with him. And I drove up there to see her and to see my mom. And he came out to my vehicle so excited. I was driving a brand new vehicle. I had put myself through college and graduated and had a big job in D.C. and had a brand new car and all that stuff. And that was things that he never...
He had all kinds
He
of
was
time
always
being in.
addicted. He was always addicted to drugs and alcohol. So he didn't ever do anything, like he couldn't get credit. He had 2 overdrawn checking accounts when he died.
Mm-hmm.
But he came out so excited to see me and have me come talk to him and visit with him and stuff. It had been, at that point, 30 years since I'd seen him. And as soon as he walked out of his house, my body just shut the fuck down because he was so brutal to me.
Yeah.
My body started reacting to all the abuse he put me through, and I couldn't even look at him.
That's what I say about my landlord. My landlord will come and stand over my bed.
And you can't.
And she'll loom. And then she'll bring the maintenance man, who's a very nice guy.
Right.
But you can't have 2 people coming at you in a negative form. And I'll tell them, I have traumatic brain injury. I have PTSD. This will not work out good for either one of us. You know
right?
what I mean?
Don't loom over my bed.
This is not good. You're taking me to a place that, it's an island you don't want to visit. You know what I mean? I assure you. And I mean, I don't think I'm the baddest thing on 2 feet, but I do know that when I lose it, when I get mad, I lose it. I don't see red. You know what I mean?
So what caused you to lose your eyesight?
My eyesight wasn't. I saw that on the thing the other day. I lost my eyesight. I just lost it.
Oh, I thought you said
No,
you'd been
no, no.
beat
I
by.
said he put me in a coma.
Oh, he put you in a
Yeah,
coma. Okay.
yeah. And I don't. My eyesight, and now I've had some kind of visual, thing with my eyes, and then on top of it, I have some kind of fast-growing cataract.
Oh, okay.
So that's why, like the brightness,
Really hits
like
you.
like the outside light. Oh my gosh, that's a whole different kind of pain. It's like someone taking ice
Wow.
picks to your eyeballs. Every time someone
Wow.
comes in, I have to turn my head. I know I look like totally crazy. You
Well,
know what I
you
mean?
shouldn't worry about how you look. It's
Oh, I'm
your
not. No,
yeah.
I'm just
But
saying
people
in
might,
general.
yeah. It didn't
You
bother
know,
me when I came in,
like they're
but
like usually, well, because they'll send a caregiver in, and I mean I probably look insane.
oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I like they're coming in, they're like, "Hi, Kimberly,"
And your
and
face is
and
like
I'm like,
this. I'm like,
"Shut the
oh.
door! Shut the door!" You know what I mean? No. But it
Well,
hurts, you know what I mean? And I'll try to tell them that I love this light. My friend bought me this light, and it's on a dimmer. You know what I mean?
so you can adjust it so it
it's
doesn't
such a
hurt your
gift.
eyes. Oh,
Such a gift.
sorry, I was wrong about that. I'm glad you corrected me because
You
I
know.
would have continued to go on and on and
No,
on.
I forgot. I was gonna say something. I didn't want to say it on the thing, but,
Yeah. No. I'm glad.
But
Yeah,
no, I mean, I've been through my share of abuse. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Well, you
I
told
mean,
me.
and
Yeah.
I think the other thing that gets me is like women. In general, there are so many of us. Pardon me. See, I don't have my ringer on because I get those headaches. Oh Lord. Hello. I'm hanging in there. How are you?
Good, thanks. I'm going to have Bliss come today. She's going to help with any grocery shopping you need and any homemaking that you need. So if you want to get a list ready, she'll be there at 2:30, and then she'll head over to the store for you.
Okay. Who?
Bliss?
Bliss.
She's been there before, but she has a car, so she can get to the store for you.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. No problem.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Maybe I can ride to the store with her and get my groceries. No,
Yes.
I don't want to bring them here though.
Well, you can.
No, I'll just.
Yesterday, they gave me all kinds of crud. One of the ladies actually hung up on me, and I said to her, "I've been robbed. I mean, literally, like legit. I had a bunch of jewelry up there, all
Oh
gone.
wow.
So I got a camera system.
Okay, good.
On my thing is, and of course, I have it posted on every door and whatever.
Uh-huh.
I don't save it unless but the landlord with all her looming stuff and whatever.
Yeah. It would be
Like-
better to have everybody
like,
be
no.
aware. I can't see, but my cameras can,
Right, you know
bitches.
what
Yeah.
And it's like like come on, people. You know what I mean? Like the girl that I had regular like for a long time really hurt my feelings bad. I've had her almost a year. I gave her a photocopier machine.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, she said she needed it for college. It sat there. You know what I mean? It wasn't being used. Fine. You're going to school. You're bettering yourself. And I said to her, before I give it to you, if I need copies, or I need, I said, there's some pictures I want printed out. I'll give you the paper, because it's a special, printing paper. But you got to do these things, or if you need a fax sent, or,
Right.
No problem. They moved me over from 26 to 25, and all of a sudden everyone needs a copy of my lease. So I let her off early one night to go just get it. She didn't get it that night. She comes back the next day. Let her off early that night. She didn't get it.
She pawned that
Next
printer.
day was a Wednesday. All right, and she said it wasn't set up. Wednesday she calls me and says, I'm running late because I'm doing your copies. You just had 2 nights off early. You know what I mean? That you didn't get them done.
Right.
And now you're going to come in and you're late and it's
be
my
late.
fault.
Right.
And so I was, I was a little upset about it, but I tried to keep my calm. She came, she put $27 on my card to copy my lease. I said, where in the heck did you know what I mean? Are you kidding me? So I tried to tell, companions and homemakers, this is not right. You know what I mean? This is not fair to me. The girl's supposed to be here at 2:30. You know, she's not on time anymore. I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean?
She pawned that printer. She didn't keep it for herself.
Because she tried to tell me she didn't set it up. All you gotta do is plug it in the wall. You know
and put the paper in and push print.
And I gave her I gave her regular paper. I gave her ink. I gave her one of those continuous ink systems. That was like $80 or something.
She didn't need it for school. She pawned it.
Right. I'm like, oh. So I'm like, you know, now
that's unfortunate.
Now you violated my trust. Because, I mean, when I've gone through here, I've given her a lot of stuff in this move. And I mean a lot of stuff. New Turkish towels and...
Wow.
You know what I mean? Nice stuff. Still, some stuff still in the wrapper.
And she...
You know what I mean? Don't tell me one minute you love and care about me and I'm like family. And then...
Rip you off.
She had...
But $27. I mean, here's the least she could have done is... And it doesn't cost $27
I
to copy a lease.
Go to CVS or the library.
Right.
That's where I told her to go. She went to Staples and she must have paid them to put it on gold or something. But the
$27. It costs at the most $5.
She took a she took a week off. That's fine. You know what I mean? It's great that now you can actually get a week early. You know what I mean?
Right.
I stood and protested so you could get these benefits.
So you could get vacations, you know right?
I mean? But anyway, and then she comes back, and the first day, it's a call in. You know what I mean? I got to go with my boyfriend to an appointment. When I told you, do you want these 5 days and these hours, you knew what they were just like he did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I've been nice. I hired him to help, you know, hang up the pictures.
It's not
you know
like
what I mean?
it's that, you know, yeah.
Like I've been nice. I gave your best friend a TV.
Right.
She gave you a ride here one day. I've been a generous person, but you can't show up on time. You know what I mean? And she said, well, you're a job. Okay. From this point on, you better do that job as effectively as you possibly can. You know what I mean? That's all I got to say.
You're not taking advantage of me anymore.
Now, you know what I mean? Because if I look at you as...
They are saying, you should join my live so you can see what they're saying to you. They think you're amazing.
They think I'm amazing? What's it online?
I'm online, yeah. I'm live on my TikTok channel.
Oh my gosh, they probably think I'm a crazy woman.
No. They say you're amazing. Hello. You are so strong. Yeah, it's on my The Real Butter Hag. My backup account. Just... Hi, Nurse Misty.
Hi, Nurse Misty. I know her.
Yep. Are you...
Oh, but it's the wrong one.
She is thoroughly enjoying our visit and listening to you tell your stories. I am as well. This is a real treat. I'm glad I finally made it. Holy shit. I walked in the wrong lady's house. And I had the live going. I had my live going and I walked in the wrong lady.
And called her Marjorie.
No, I had a recording. And called her Marjorie. Yes. And called her Marjorie.
And she said she was Purple Peace Lady.
She did. And when I said Purple Peace Lady, she said yes. And I was like... Now I'm really fucking confused. Are you? No! I'm so sorry. And then it was really funny because she got up and got dressed. I guess she was in the back in her bedroom. She came out with her walker. And she was like, who are you trying to visit?
That's so crazy.
But I went to this lady that lives right next to you and asked if she knew you. She said, no, I don't know anybody who's blind and never is able to get out of her house.
But they don't see me.
Oh.
Like, I've been in the house for 13 years.
Oh, okay. They don't see. You don't ever have to go out for doctor's appointments or anything?
The only time you see me go out usually is in the ambulance. And to be honest with you, people in places like this, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, but they're so darn nosy. One day I was literally in the ambulance. This one lady, literally had her face up like this, up against the glass.
Looking to see who was in here?
Legit, I was like, sis, you got to move. You know what I mean? You got to, because I get up out this gurney. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the 1, 2, 3, or 4. No.
Not the one.
No. Mm-mm.
1, 2, 3, or 4.
I'll drag your butt right across the floor. Watch me go. You'll come with me. I'll put you on my back tire. We're gone.
That's
But I mean,
right.
literally, the poor guy in the ambulance, because he could see I was getting, upset about it. And the guy in the ambulance, like, pulled down the shade, but, like, literally face to the glass. When I was, before I got where I
Face
was
to
in the
the
bed, I had a lazy boy out there,
Uh-huh.
and she would walk her dog. And one day I was drinking my water, and the case it was in, it was like silver,
Mhm.
so it shined off the window, and it startled me. And then I realized it wasn't my darn water glass, it was this lady's face right in my window, my front window.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, you gonna pick up your dog's dump, you know what I mean?
Right,
We're
right.
gonna have a problem. Like, no. The dog was cute as heck. Oh, the dog was, the poor dog, she dragged that poor dog through everything.
Did she really?
God rest her soul, because she's not alive no more, but she was in everybody's business. And I just find, like, when you live somewhere where it's close,
And everybody.
I don't like people in my business, really.
Yeah, I don't
You know what I
either.
mean?
Yeah.
And the one sure way that if you invite them into it, you know what I mean, then you're asking for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I know me, and I know that, like, if people sound off, and I know, like, most of the people who I'm involved with are people of color. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't tolerate no mess.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you are not going to hurt or upset anybody I care about. That's not going to happen without some form of repercussion. You know what I mean? And there's still, there is a lot of racism. There's a lot of people,
There's
and don't get me wrong, I don't
so
tell
much
the
racism.
young girls that come here to work, if they are of color, I don't tell them to, sass anybody or anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? The girl I regularly have, she says sometimes they look at her funny, and I tell her, look at them and smile big. And wave, because they don't know what to do when you do that. You know what I mean? Be
Right.
as friendly as hell. But if they come at you in any kind of way,
Right.
don't talk to them or nothing. You send them to me. You know what I mean? And I've had a couple of them come to the door. You know what I mean? But they leave quick. That's why I got all them signs out there. You know what I mean? I just paid, one of my best friends, Julie, she makes all them signs. Matter of fact, she made my shirt.
Oh, wow.
My accomplished shirt.
Proud accomplice.
Now it's funny because now everyone else is saying accomplice, but when she made it, no one else was saying it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now everybody's an accomplice.
Right.
But I used to always that was like my line all the time. I was like, I'm not no ally. I'll roll up my sleeves. You get dirty.
I'll be an accomplice.
You know
That's
what I
right.
I'm like, mm-mm. You bring them close to the chair. I'll take care of them. My friends, they all tease me like, they're a big one. You're gonna carry them with you, right? Okay, I got them. But you have to laugh at life. You know what I mean? If you don't smile through it, you won't get through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
everybody.
You have to laugh at life, but some people can't laugh at life. I couldn't laugh at life when I was sick. Now that I have medication, I can laugh at life, but.
Right.
But then, no, fuck no, I was going to kill somebody, and then I'm going to go away by myself and cry because nobody loves me,
No, but and that's the whole thing. That's one of the things that I really appreciate about you a lot, is that you keep it real, and you don't hide, and you don't you know what I mean? Like, I consider, like, mental illness to me as a chemical imbalance.
Right.
When you get your meds, it makes you balance.
Yeah, it makes you balance like everybody else.
You know
and
what I
people
mean?
who don't suffer from it are real quick to dismiss your voice.
Because we were always taught like it was bad.
Right.
One of the saddest
We
things
really-
I've
we
seen
really
in my
were.
life was when and like it was like late 80s.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to think, I can't remember. John Rowland, I think, was the governor at the time. And they closed down all the mental hospitals.
Right.
And we had a big one in Norwich.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember getting off the highway and seeing these people, and they looked like a bunch of zombies. And they were walking into downtown Norwich. I think it was on Route 12 or whatever. They were walking in, And it was the saddest thing I've ever seen. It was so sad. And then to know that where they were walking to, they thought they were going to the town to get help financially, and they had closed that down purposely a few weeks before they shut down the hospital. And it was just so heartbreaking.
Oh my
You know what I mean? It was
God.
just like they were, I could still see this one guy in a big straw hat on. I mean, it was just to this day, and that was in the 80s. And I remember it like it was yesterday. You know what I mean?
And they
Like,
thought they were going to get help, and there was nothing there.
Yeah, it's crazy. I want to show them what she did to the grave.
Okay. So her story about the worst thing that has ever happened to her is the way that, yeah, you'll see.
My father married a woman who decided to change the grave my mother picked for herself in 1996 when she passed away.
Her mother died in 96, picked out her gravestone, planned all the graves, and is this
the
one
grave
she
my
picked
mother
out?
picked for herself, with a dove and a cross.
You see the dove and the cross and her husband's name and her name and
My
all
mom's
of
name
that.
was first because she was really into women's lib, and she wanted to be first.
So she put her name first and her husband's name second, and then
She got to be next to her mother-in-law for eternity.
yeah.
And then last year, the woman that my father married decided to not only jump into my mother's grave,
But look at how she changed
but
the
then
headstone.
she changed the stone, made my mother look like a sister wife, took away her dove a piece, took away her cross, and spelt my mama's name wrong.
Her name is spelled wrong. At least she didn't put.
She put she's next to my mother. My mother didn't know that woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And she misspelled her name. How the hell do you misspell her name
She knew how to spell my mother's name.
And
it was
then-
on the other stone.
and then not make them fix it? Yeah. That's what she did. Can
then
you
she-
imagine? That's
And
blasphemous.
then she put her son in my children's grave. Now I have paperwork that states that was mine. It was given to me. That plot was given to me in 1996 by both of my parents. It's signed by both of my parents. But if I turn that in, he can get in trouble. My dad's 90. I
You
don't
don't want him to
agree
get in
with
trouble.
that decision, but I
Right.
don't want to have my father in trouble.
For something
what I
that
mean?
this.
Because I know how my father works, and I guarantee you she had to handle all the paperwork
Mm-hmm.
because he probably didn't do any of it.
Oh, I'm
That
sure
being
she
said,
did.
she probably put it in front of him and he signed it.
Right.
And to him, it's not a big deal. But to
Right.
say that, like, if we believed that we would be willing to share a grave, you know what I
No,
mean?
you can't
has
do
nothing
that
do
to
with
your
it.
kids for your new wife.
No. Well,
Your
like,
kids get to decide that stuff.
Like I said, I can't go to my mother's grave now because I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really, like, legit cannot emotionally. If I could physically get there, you know what I mean?
Emotionally,
I
you
don't think
couldn't
emotionally
do
I
it.
can handle it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's heartbreaking. My mother, she had a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember I was at her mother's grave, which my father's parents are right next to theirs. And my mother's mother was up here, and
Mm-hmm.
her father.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at my grandmother Brown's grave.
Right.
And my mother was down at her own grave, putting flowers on her own grave before she died.
Oh, wow.
And I remember walking down the cemetery and saying, "Woman, what are you doing? Like, why are you putting flowers on your own grave, Mommy?" And she said, "Well, you're not going to be able," and she knew I was sick, but she said, "You're not going to be able to come." And a part of me now wonders, like, how much did she know? You know what I mean? Like, did she really just feel that no one was going to be able to go there? You know what I mean? And it breaks my heart, because it's just, to me, he could have, my father's plans were already to be divided in three. He wants some of himself in Vermont, some of himself, with my mom, and then some of himself in the ocean.
Right.
Well, why can't you get cremated into four then? And
Right.
get another, another
Get
stone
another-
with this woman. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Why
Like,
do you have to cram her in there?
I
No,
mean,
because
it's
she
just-
wanted to be crammed in there.
I mean, it's just, to me, it's insane. It's so hurtful.
Somebody said take a Dremel with you when you visit.
And I have a Dremel too, because I'm a crafter.
Take a Dremel with you when you visit.
It is. It's
After your dad's gone, take a Dremel with you.
it is so heartbreaking. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that would be fun, though, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it would have to be after he goes, because I'm sure.
After he goes, you wouldn't want to do that to him before he goes, but after he goes,
No,
take a
they'd
Dremel.
find a
I'd
way.
take a Dremel.
Well, that's the whole thing. And I'm the bad guy for it. Like, how do I get to be the bad guy for it?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you can say whatever you want about me, but make it real. That's
Well,
all I care about.
here's the thing. He just doesn't like you upset with him.
Well, it's like
And he
doesn't
wants
want
to
me-
make her happy, and he wishes you were not upset with him because all he wanted was to make her happy because she is his
But I mean,
company.
for years, you haven't had, like, basically nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? Like so little. Like
His wife, you mean? Or-
none of
or-
them. Like, she would sit outside, but if he came here, she would sit in the parking lot so he wouldn't be in here too long. Or she would send her son before he passed. Her son always had to come with him into the house. I'm not going to stop you from being with who you want to be with. That's not my place.
She
like I
was
said,
really
your money is your
insecure.
money, your whatever is yours. You know what I mean? I'm not a materialistic person. I have everything I need and then some.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm a happy person. You know what I mean? I might be in a lot of pain, but I'm still a happy. My soul is good.
Oh,
I
that's
am at
awesome.
peace. You know what I mean? Like, I would never give up the peace. Like, if you told me I could have my health, but I'd have to lose my peace, wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
I'd be lying here just as sick as I am right now. Because I would never give up this peace. I've been through too much to get to it. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm not climbing that mountain no more. No, I'm not. Been there, done that. Got many T-shirts, you know what I mean?
That's
And
why
lots
you
of
are
scars.
the Purple Peace Lady.
Like, it's crazy, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
It
yeah.
really is crazy. You think, how can people be certain ways, you know what I mean? But they are, you know.
They-
I have fought in my life. I've fought for women's rights. I've marched, you know, back in the day, it was, you know, it was more, it was, now they say people of color, but back in the day it was black people, you know what I mean?
Right.
We always, you know what I mean? I literally was down in Washington, D.C. I'm on a thing with Time Magazine where they, I think it was Time, one of them big news magazines back in the day,
Yeah.
where we're trying to get the cocktail for you know, for AIDS. For the
Oh,
AIDS
right,
medicine.
right.
You know what I mean? I mean, I've now fought for everybody else, and it's like now when I need to fight for disabled rights, I'm like, you know?
You're out of energy.
And where am I going to find the energy? Like, who's going to care about me? You know?
You need.
You know,
yeah.
it's a, I don't know, it's a different
That
world.
worries me so much. Is I know how hard it was to be an advocate for my mother when she had her aneurysm and lost the functionality of her brain. Until then, she needed no motherfucker to advocate for her.
Right.
You
Right.
didn't play. You didn't play with my mother. No. But after she had her aneurysm, she needed somebody to fight for her, and I was there. And because she needed no motherfucker to fight for her, I need no motherfucker to fight for me either, right? So I advocated for her, and I had to work really, really hard. And it wasn't that I was imagining the shifts in her conditions. I was right.
Right.
And the doctors were denying it, and I had to shove their faces and rub their noses, and finally they were like, oh,
But
wow,
they
you're
don't,
right.
They don't, you know what I mean? I know with myself, you know, like, they want me to
You
not
need an
try
advocate.
sometimes.
They want you to give up.
Right, and I'm not giving up. Like, even today, they said to me, like, today, like, legit, the lady said to me, if you go into a nursing home for 3 months, I'm not going in a nursing home. You
Oh,
know what I
wow.
mean?
She wanted you.
Like, you know, they're like, oh, well, then you could get into some program and blah, blah, blah. Listen, I love my cat. My cat gives me a reason. You know what I mean?
Right,
I
and
don't
you-
want to die. And if you put me in a nursing home, I'm too young for that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I
you
don't
really
bother
are.
anybody.
Yeah, what's
You know
the
what I mean?
yeah? What are they trying? Are they just trying to help you get I mean, what the
Well,
fuck do they think is going to happen?
sent
You can start dancing a jig
They
someday?
sent a girl here yesterday, to be honest, a physical therapist.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now she wanted to see me shower. Now I can shave my own legs. I can, you know what I mean. I need a little help on my back. I need help drying off because if I lean forward, I fall.
Right.
I teeter. You know what I mean. In the evenings, I definitely have to be wheelchair. You know what I mean.
Right.
But this girl had allotted 20 minutes to do what every other time takes an hour, hour and a half. And she kept on checking her phone and checking her phone and checking her phone. And I'm apologizing.
She's rushing you
and I literally
to take your shower.
I'm an emotional person, but I'm not a crier. And I said to her, I really hope, young lady, that one day
You're stuck.
you don't ever have to feel what I'm feeling, or nobody you love, you know what I mean, has to feel, because you're from the Visiting Nurses Association. You're supposed to be
have
caring.
some empathy.
You know what I mean? I can't do this at a fast speed. You know what I mean? I just can't. And she was nice and she was pleasant, but I'm sure they have her on a rush
She kept
schedule.
checking her phone.
You know what I mean? But it's like, come on, you know what I mean? I will tell you, I don't lie to them. Like, I don't say I see total darkness. I can see shapes. You know what I mean? With the magnifying glass, if I'm lucky, I can make out some words even. You know what I mean? That being said, yes, I can get in the shower and do some of the things for me. But it's the getting there and getting, you know what I mean?
Getting out.
When I smashed my whole leg up, literally all I was doing, I got to the refrigerator, I bent in, I grabbed a bottle of water, and I fell. And I broke my main two bones in my leg and totally smashed my ankle. Like, you can feel, there's a piece of metal in there that feels like a row of staples.
Wow.
It's square. It's not even rounded. They could have got a nicer shape to it. I'm serious. It feels awful. It's like, But I know these things can happen, so I have the right to be afraid. Speak of my pastor, it's my pastor.
Oh.
He's calling back. I'll talk to you later, Alan. Greatest man. Great man. That's
the one that let me park at the buses parked at in his parking lot. I just love that he checks on you so much and brought you communion.
They have been. If you had ever told me that someone would stick by, like I love my family, but most of my family is really family of my exes. They're not like, my family.
They're not your blood family.
Like I don't know anybody blood related.
Oh, okay.
I know no one.
Did you ever consider doing the ancestry?
I've just started thinking about that. See, when my mom was alive, her psychiatrist said it would probably throw her off the edge.
Right.
And I didn't want to push her over the edge.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she's been gone a long time, but then I kind of thought, like, the only reason I wanted to know was health. And back in the day, they said they didn't really know all that stuff. And then they also said, like, my curiosity was more like, what will I look like when I'm old? That's not a reason to disturb somebody's whole life.
You don't have to. Okay, here's the thing. You won't disturb them unless they want to be disturbed.
Right.
Because they have to have uploaded their DNA.
Well, now.
And check the box. Oh, back
then.
Back then you were going to research and try to find who they were.
Not doing it was.
Now it would be really cool because the only way that you're going to find someone on Ancestry if they have checked the box that said yes.
Right.
I want to see people I'm related to, and that means that they get to see me too.
Right.
And that's how I found my baby brother, who wouldn't talk to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he wouldn't talk to me when I messaged him because my other brothers who hate me contacted him first. He was friends with the brother who died 3 years ago.
Oh.
So they have known, my family knew for a long time that I had a baby brother.
Wow.
And nobody told me. And when I contacted him, he wouldn't speak to me. And so I tried a few times, and then I just said, I'm real sorry that you talked to Troy before you talked to me. And I'm happy to find out about you and have a nice life. But I can't,
that's sad. You know what I mean? Because, like, I think that's probably another reason why I don't. You know what I mean?
The
I've had enough
rejection is
You know
hard.
what I mean?
Right.
Like, I
The
don't know if
rejection is really fucking hard.
You know, and
Especially when he wouldn't talk to me, and I know he's talked to my brother Troy.
Yeah.
And my brother Troy has hurt me just because he can. That's the so many times. That's the last one. I hope it's the last one. The only thing left is for him to get to my grandson before I get to my grandson and talk shit about me to my grandson. That's the only hurt left that he can do to me. He has done.
Well, let's hope.
I don't talk to any of my family on the Glover side.
Wow.
Because of him. He married a woman who hates me. And then he began believing every single rumor he heard about me. And people were making up rumors about me and my family because I was successful. I was a successful engineer who's not a fucking alcoholic who fucked my cousin. Everybody in my family is either a cousin fucker or an alcoholic. And I am neither of those things. And I'm successful. And so they just and I needed their love so much.
Yeah.
And when they slapped my hand away, it crushed me. But that's the last thing he can hurt me for.
A lot of people give me, people that, are this town is loaded with people in my family.
Right.
Loaded. Like my father's family is all here. And I see one cousin because she works at the vet's office. You know what I mean?
That's the way it would be if I lived in Massachusetts, because my mother's family is everywhere. Yeah.
But I can't, emotionally, I care about all of them very much. But when you reach out, like I said, I used to send cards all the time. And I would never get cards back.
Never get a card back or an acknowledgement.
Not even an acknowledgement or, I don't need a, hey, thank you, you're so great. But a hi every now and then.
Yeah.
And then one time they saw me going into Walmart and said, well, I guess I didn't look sick enough for them. You know what I mean? I have lung disease. You know what I mean? If you can see the inside of my lungs, you're darn good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay. You know what I mean? Can you see my bone disease too?
What the hell?
With an X-ray eyes you got.
Did I fake this shattered ankle? No, I don't think I did.
It killed because it's there's no. I worked for years when they said I couldn't. The doctors were all you know what I mean? I was like, I'm not giving up this money. You know
you would have, but yeah.
I made too good of money, you know what I mean? I worked until I couldn't work anymore. And then I stopped. What else can you do?
Right.
You know, I mean, when your body totally gives out on you.
There's no.
Even now people will say, oh, well, you're coming up on old age. No, I call it betrayal. It's not old age. It's outright betrayal, okay? You call it whatever you want. In my case, the body has betrayed me. You know what I mean? But that's how I feel. I used to be able to push through everything.
Yeah.
And now I just can't. You know what I mean? You see how close the bathroom is. I get halfway there and I'm holding on to the walker or I'm sitting in a chair. You know?
Aww.
And it's crazy. You know, what is it, 10 steps? You know what I mean? It's no. And then when that lady came over yesterday, I'm supposed to just run to take the shower. I can't. You know what I mean? If I could, do you think I want you sitting here watching me shower?
Is that why they want you to go to a nursing home so that they don't have to have people come help you here so much?
There's a state law that went into effect, I don't know, maybe about 10 years ago, maybe 8 to 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. You have the right to stay in your home. It's actually cheaper for them to keep you at your home than it would be in a nursing home.
Right.
You know what I mean? So why not? It's where I want to be.
I wouldn't want to be in a nursing home.
I wouldn't make it. I really wouldn't make it. You know what I mean? I legit. First off, I don't sleep.
Nobody deserves to be in a fucking nursing home.
So can you picture me with a roommate, though? I mean, it wouldn't be fair to them. I'm not even a good roommate in the hospital. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, my God. Can you imagine a roommate?
The only time I don't use the C word, that's my generation, we don't.
Uh-huh.
You know, no. Last time I was in the hospital, some lady from Old Line, I don't know what got into this one, but she came after me with a pole and she called me the C word, and before I knew it came right out of my mouth. I was like, oops, I'm sorry. Wait a minute, she's hitting me. I gotta hit her back. I was like, oh.
Shit.
I I met more. I had this one girl, she was all whacked out on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
5 o'clock in the morning, all they had between us a little curtain.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like an Amazon looking girl. I'm 5'7.5", all right? So for me to say she was a tall girl, she was a tall girl. Next thing I know, and I don't know how the hospital knew because they came quickly. She stood up on the bed, said something, I don't even know what she said. And the next thing you know, all of a sudden I saw the curtain again. I was like, she was like a flying monkey. All I seen was blonde hair everywhere. Yep. And then, I mean, like, instantaneously, the whole hospital people were there. I don't even know how they knew what was going on.
Wow.
And she's yelling that she's keeping the room, and I'm steady like, I got the window. I am not leaving this room, okay? I was not up on the bed. I felt like a little 5-year-old. I was being a good girl sitting in my bed. She did it.
Is it okay with you if I use this vape?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I told you, if I got it, you got it. Anything in here, if it makes you comfortable, do it.
All right.
That's exactly how I believe. You only got one life, live it to the fullest.
Yep. Well, I wish I had an edible to offer you, but I don't.
I'm working on that. It's kind of funny because
I know you can't smoke, but I wish I had I have edible honey, but I didn't bring it with me. Yeah.
I've never tried anything like that. I mean, I remember one time I had a New Year's Eve party, and I've always been incredibly honest, in my adult life anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Not when I was a little kid, I wasn't, but. And I remember my mom said she was going to come over to my house. And I said to her, you don't want some of the things that are going on here. And my mom was the kind of person, she'd drop a dime on you in a minute. So why I even told her was beyond me. But she came over, and she was doing her thing, and I was going around checking on my guests and doing my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back, and my mom ate some brownies.
Oh,
what are you doing?
Oh, no.
Spit it out! Spit it out! She's like, oh, no, it's good, honey. Really good. A little dry. I said, oh, mother dear. Yeah, things in your world are about to get real nice real quick. Needless to say, Mom slept over that night.
She sure did.
My mother did the funny, I had an ex who was like crazy trying to kill me. So my mother, she's going to come protect me. Don't ask me why she thought I needed protection, but she felt I did. And I don't know what she thought she was going to do. So I had a gun under my pillow.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother is sleeping in the same bed with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just dozing off to sleep. And all of a sudden she's, oh, Jesus, there he is! And I get up and I pull out the gun. Look at him blow up the bed then. I pull up the gun and she says, oh no, honey, I'm dreaming. Go to sleep. Holy cow. I mean, my heart was coming through my chest. I was like, Mommy, you're going to have to sleep on the couch. You know what I mean?
I had a similar thing happen with my niece one time. She came to live with me. And I thought she was going to be like my nephew, and she thought I was going to be like my sister, so we were stressed out. And the last news report we watched before we went to sleep was about a rapist who was breaking into houses through the sliding glass doors. And so we talked about it, and we decided what we were going to do if the rapist broke in the house and the sliding glass doors.
Right.
And she went to bed, and I went to bed, and I had a dream that she had friends over partying like my nephew did. And I owned a daycare in my house.
Oh.
And so I couldn't have shit like that going on.
No.
And so I screamed in my dream. You know how you have to work really hard to scream in your dream? I worked really hard, and I screamed in your dream, Kathy, who's in the house? and Kathy's bedroom is at the end of the
Oh my
hallway,
God.
so she can see straight down the hall to the living room where the
Oh my
sliding
God.
glass door is. And she's like, I don't know, Who's in the house? Who's in the house?
Oh,
And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to go back to sleep.
but
I was
that
dreaming.
feeling, like,
And she's like, you fucking asshole.
You're
You
right.
just woke me up.
I mean, I was
That
like,
feeling,
get out of
it's
my
horrible.
Bed. Get out of my bed, hit the couch, beat it. She's like, I'll sleep at the couch tomorrow. I'm like, you're going to stay another night? I'd rather he come in and kill me than you do this crap.
Oh my gosh.
My mom was great. She was crazy as a bedbug, but she was wholehearted. You know what I mean?
Right.
If she had your back. She had your back.
Oh.
No ifs, ands, no buts.
Yeah,
She
my
was
mother.
a very intelligent woman. I think that's the other thing that people don't realize. A lot of people who do have mental illness are
They're-
incredibly smart.
Yeah.
And I think that's the first thing people discount.
Is, well, that's
You know,
right.
immediately
You're
they-
stupid. What you just said means nothing because you're triggered when you're saying it and your delivery is really bad. So
Right.
you're fucking crazy. We're not even going to entertain anything you said.
Well, like I said,
It's
I'll
so-
do crazy all day long. I'll do crazy and happy because I'm not going to be miserable
And bitter. That's right.
and normal.
That's right.
I've seen normal. I don't want the job. I don't like how people who say they're normal act.
I
I want
am
no parts of that. Like none.
no part of that at all. Me neither.
Like you can be so much kinder to people.
You really
I'd
can't.
rather make people laugh. I'd rather laugh with people and love people than just walk around and be judgmental and angry.
I know. I
You know what I
agree.
mean? That's what they really do. They walk around and they're just so, you know what I mean? Or they think they're so.
Everybody's
kind of-
fucking them over. All of their problems are somebody else's fault. And then as soon as a Donald Trump comes in and says, no, your problems are Democrats' faults, well, then there they go. Then
But
they're
how they
angry.
can even fall for his bull crap is beyond me.
That's the thing.
You know, when I lived down in New York, he lived in the building like next door.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, this was when his kids were kids. They were young. I saw him yell at his first wife one day in front of God and everybody. Like right there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To me, a man who talks like that to his wife in front of his children, you know what I mean? I've never thought highly of him from that moment. Like I just, you know what I mean? And all this, you know, I mean, they got caught him being a racist. What was he in the 70s or 80s? Federal court.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the proof is over and over and over, and still they'll say, "Oh, he's not a racist."
Oh, he's sure the fire.
Well, like, how is he not? You know what I mean?
How
like,
is he
like,
not a
come
racist?
on.
How can you believe it? Well, here's the thing. The ones who
Yes, Momo.
say he's not a racist are the ones who just care about their money. Because it's obvious.
also
Everybody
think
knows he's a racist,
anybody
he's
who
a rapist,
denies racist-
and he's a ruthless motherfucker who never pays his bills and he's a paper tiger. The emperor literally has no fucking clothes.
Anyone know who denies racist and they deny racism?
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, they are the racists because they're the only ones that have something to gain by denying it.
By denying it, that's
You know
right.
what I mean? Just like critical race theory. Why wouldn't you want your children to be educated in the truth? Because if they know,
They
it's not
cannot
gonna make
repeat
them
the
hate-
same mistakes.
Right, they're not going to
Right.
hate America for it.
Educate them
You
in
know
fake.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you teach them about Stalin. You teach them about Hitler.
Why not teach
You know what
them
I mean?
about the
Why
America's
can't you
bad
talk
stuff?
about what's going on
Well,
right
because
here?
they're afraid that they won't have such. See, they raised us with diehard nationalism.
Right.
My country, 'tis of thee, great land of
Right.
liberty. You know, I mean, we were trained to be nationalists and to fear China, to fear Russia,
Right.
to fear all of these other countries that are different from us. And they have to have that in order to keep you asleep. They want to keep you distracted from the world's problems by.
But if you look at, first off, you know, and not just because my sister was black, but my sister taught me so much. I mean, she really taught me so much. The strength of the black woman is phenomenal.
It really is.
It is absolutely, and the forgiveness of the black people
Is
because
phenomenal.
I'm gonna tell you what, if someone came at me every day, the way that America, white America, treats black America, I think I would snap. I think you would not be visiting me here. I'd be down.
Well, that's
down
why
at
all
Granite
black
Prison.
Americans have PTSD. And
can you
so
not?
many of them also have OCD. How could you not?
Right. You know what
How
I mean?
that's the kind of reparations that this country needs to make reparations
I agree.
that
100%.
heal the people.
You've taken away generational wealth.
You've taken
By
away.
pushing people down and keeping them down, you've never allowed them.
You never.
Nothing has
That's
been
right.
the same.
And anybody who does make it, oh my fucking God! If you pulled
But it's a
yourself
miracle.
out,
Look at the odds
if
of
you
how many
pulled
people
your,
do it
I
and how
know
many don't.
it is a truly a miracle. But
Right.
you know, can you imagine the strength of the black
Right.
person who is it begins in the inner city and ends a successful human being? The strength.
But the strength of the person who gets up every day
It doesn't. Yeah, faces people every day.
I know myself.
That's
when I
right.
would go to the store with my husband, we would walk in the store.
Non-stop treating, throwing shade.
But we'd walk into the store, and they'd follow us like, I mean, we could have money dripping out our pockets. And most of the time, we were all right. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they'd follow us everywhere. Now let him go to the fishing department, and nobody's following me. I could do anything I wanted. But if he was next to me, you know what I mean?
That you'd have people, store people.
And they're just
It's
like,
disgusting.
you know, we want. It was just like, you know, instantly. And I mean, the things that I have seen, the unfairness through my sister, my brother, my husband, you know, the kids in my life, the other, you know, I'm a strong person, and I know I'm a strong person, but I'm not that strong. I mean, compared to them, I'm nothing. You know what I mean? Because
that's right. I'm a strong person. That's exactly what I was trying to get to. The person who lives with that every day and still wakes up every day to do it
and does it with a smile.
does it with a fucking smile.
Compassion.
And the second that you show them kindness, they embrace you and love you for it.
Your family.
That's an incredible race of people, and that is in fact what racism, you know, the jealousy, just like my family turned on me because they're jealous and made all kinds of shit up that wasn't true. Same thing, same exact thing. You're not, it's just, anyway, we're working on it though. We're going to work on it.
Who does the most, you know what I mean, like who takes in the most people, who helps you the most? It's always the poorest people, you know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be of color, but it's usually the people who have the least are the first ones there to help somebody out when they're in a problem.
Because they know what it's like.
The people who have the most, they're nowhere around.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
I got mine, you get yours.
Right.
Fuck off. That's it. I got mine, you get yours, fuck off. Yeah, I hate, yeah.
You know, and it's sad. It's really sad. Like the lack of compassion and kindness nowadays. People are so cold.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're so cold. And the younger generation, they have like no... Not all of them, but a majority of them, they don't want to work or they don't want to put the same effort in. I mean, when we went to do a job, that represented you.
Right.
You wanted to represent yourself the best you could.
Right.
You didn't do no half-ass job.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't care.
Mm-mm.
You know
it's just judged based on your skin, and it is horrible.
It's like, or they'll show up, you know, like, you know, the girl I have now, like, she'll show up when she wants to show up. You know what I mean? That's not correct.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not how a job's supposed to go. You know? It's a totally different world. The scary part is, one day, they're going to be in total control of our lives.
I know.
Isn't that terrifying?
I know. And the thing is that that's why they started. You know what I heard on TikTok today, and it makes so much fucking sense, and this is disgusting, and it made me so angry.
What?
Oh my God. This one thing is going to fuel my fight for the next 4 years. I'm sure of it. What Republicans did to redistrict the lines to gerrymander. They fill up the prisons, put a prison in a white neighborhood, white section. Fill up the prison with black people. When the census comes, the area that lost the black people that are in the prisons now get less representatives. But the census in the white neighborhood covers the prison. So white people get more representatives.
All right.
That happens all over the country. Every place there's a prison.
Look what they do with the prison, you know, with the school to prison ratio. They are looking at kids when they're in the 3rd grade and deciding to build prisons. You know what I mean? But it's awful. I mean,
Are
it's
you
like,
kidding me?
you will not believe how deplorable. Like, our race is deplorable. Like, legit, if you can't, you know what I mean? Like, you have to own it, because it is. You know what I mean? I know that's not what I do, but if we don't start taking responsibility, it's not
We
something
have
you
to
can turn your
own
head
the
at.
shit that we
Right.
fucked up. We have to
You know what I
own,
mean?
not only in this country, but around the world.
Yes,
We have to
definitely.
start owning the bullshit.
But we here in America, I mean, our race, we are building prisons according
Based
to
on
what
how many
8-year-olds
people are
doing.
in the 8th grade
Right.
and what their behavior
How
is.
many 8-year-olds?
How many
Not 8th grade,
8-year-olds they are in
8-year-olds.
certain areas. We're
Like,
building
and
prisons to project that they're going to end up in them.
Right. And it usually works out that way. But if you don't support your community and you don't give these kids options of things to do, you know what I mean? Like, some schools offer all kinds of things.
The thing
Others,
that keeps running through my brain is we need a policy that is do whatever it fucking takes.
Well, look, we got Juneteenth, okay? But at the same
That
time,
doesn't mean
we
shit.
don't have anti-lynching laws.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're suppressing the votes. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't have had Columbus Day anyways. You know what I mean? He wasn't nothing but a scoundrel rapist.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, some of that I just don't get. You know what I mean? And to deny it,
Well, we
I
need to
don't care.
start changing it. We need to. Right now, we've got this momentum in that
But
that we
the change comes
gained.
with people like you and I,
Right.
and other people owning it.
That's
You know what
right.
I mean, we know that that's not our behavior, but that doesn't
We
mean
need
that we
to
don't have
speak
to.
about it
Right.
and own it. It happened.
That's
It
why
really
critical
fucking
race-
happened.
that's
Now
why-
we need to do whatever it takes to fix it.
I think that's why critical race theory being taught in the schools is so important.
It really is. I agree.
If I had children, I don't think I'd put them in public school now. Or if you do have your children in public school, I think you really need to take the time to educate yourself. You know what I mean? I can't even think of there's a lake something in Georgia. Gosh, I wish I could think of the name of it. They flooded the whole town. Hi, Momo.
Because they, yeah.
And they've done it to more than one town.
More than one town.
You know what I mean? Like, are you kidding me? Like, are you that threatened? And that's what it comes down to. You're
They're
that
threatened. They are that insecure and threatened.
You know, and you ever watch that lady, Jane Elliott?
Oh, I love her.
I have loved her since Oprah first had her on.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's just such a straight shooter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the people know. They know what they're doing, because when they say they don't want to be a minority or they don't want to be treated like a minority, then you know.
Then you know how fucked up
Like,
we treat minorities.
It really bothers me so bad, because you know my sister died last year, and it breaks my heart. She will never.
You've been wondering about that Thanksgiving. What do you think about it? What Thanksgiving? Oh, about Thanksgiving in general? I think it's a bogus holiday. We should not be celebrating Thanksgiving. We should be.
Well, look what we've done.
We should make Thanksgiving be the holiday where we own our bullshit.
Wouldn't
Instead
that
of
be
it be the holiday where we lie about how good we treated Native Americans. On Thanksgiving, we should teach about the fucking Trail of Tears.
We need to be truthful. We need to be real. If this country is ever, you know, when your parents tell you when you're young, if you come clean, you'll feel better.
Right.
We'll all feel better if we come clean. We deal with it.
Right.
Because now it's a bunch
We gotta
of stuff
own it. We can't deny it.
We've got it all stuffed inside us. Everybody does.
Well, we're not going to do it for much. I mean,
No,
we're loud right now.
In the time you've known me, I've been anything but. No.
Nothing but loud. That's right. You have been nothing but loud. I am nothing but loud. And we now have... See, I'm encouraged by how much momentum we got, despite the fact that we had an evil motherfucker. I think we got momentum because of the evil motherfucker. It woke a lot of people up. And I want to keep that momentum going. I don't know how I'm going to keep it going personally, but
by keeping on
by keeping it going,
real,
yes,
keeping it up front. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I got the same shirt you got with all the faces.
Oh,
Okay.
I love that.
And I ordered the shirt, and when the shirt came to me, it probably didn't even take a week.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time it came to me, 3 more people,
There were
4
more
more people had
gone.
died.
Yeah,
And I was like, what do I got to do? Get a part 2 shirt? Like, this is awful.
it really
Like,
is.
this, I mean, I cried so hard. You know what I mean? And, you know, my friend was like, you know, you got to get it together. And I was like, these are lives. You know what I mean? Black
These are
people.
people.
They're asking to matter. They're not asking to be better than.
They're asking
They're not
to
asking
matter.
They're asking to matter, for Pete's sakes. What don't people get about that? Why are you so intimidated by that? You know what I mean? That's my big thing. Like, I have a really good friend of mine
Mm-hmm.
was telling me a story about a boy who came to her house, and she was saying that, you know, they were joking with the boy about chicken and watermelon, and I about came unglued.
Oh.
And I said, and the woman, she's a large woman,
Mm-hmm.
and I said to her, that's not right. Like, and that you could come in my face knowing how I feel, you're crazy, and that's not acceptable in my house. And she said, but he was joking with us. And I said, because the sad part is, he was raised to appease white people. That, like, you have to
The
do that
sad
to get
part
by.
is
And I
they
said,
were-
if you care about this kid, why are you doing
better-
that?
you-
That's not acceptable. And she kind of gave me a puzzled look, and I felt really bad because it was a really good friend of mine.
Preach it.
But I turned
She
to
didn't
her,
get it?
But, well, no, I got her to get it because I turned to her and she was a large woman. Very, very large. And I said to her, how would you feel if he teased you and said that you were lazy and ate all the time? Because that's what people think when they see big
It's
people.
fun for whom?
Like, you can't.
Who is it fun for?
But we're not supposed to be labeling and judging, and you know what I mean?
Not for their
Like,
humanity.
treat people how you want to be treated, and your world will change.
Right.
Your
Right.
world will, I mean, just immensely.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying that I don't, you know, when somebody treats me wrong, that I don't go back. But you got to treat me wrong to get that. If you
Right.
see me mad with somebody, you know they did something.
That's right.
You know
That's
what I mean?
right. That's right.
Other than that, if I can help you, I don't care if it's the last thing I have. I'll help you. You know what I mean? And that's just, I've always been that way. Because people helped me when I had absolutely nothing. When I was a kid out there on the streets,
People help
people
me too.
helped me. And I really believe, totally 100%, in the paying it forward.
Yep.
People who took me in had nothing to give, but somehow they gave me a roof over my head, a bed to lay down in, and food in my belly. They didn't have to
Right.
do that for
No.
some strange person's kid,
Right.
but they did. And I'm here today because of them. You know what I mean? New York City could have ate me up as a child.
Right.
I mean, I was a kid.
Right. A little bitty kid, but they
You know
took
what I
care of
mean?
you. Yeah.
And people did me all kinds of wonderful. You know, and we can all do that for each other. Why instantly count somebody out because
of their skin
nationality?
color. Yeah. Because of their nationality, because of their skin color. Because they have a disability.
You know, but you lose out when you judge anybody on the outside. I don't care if it's their hair color, skin color, sexuality, disability, whatever it is. When you know,
When you
count
do
them
that,
out,
you lose yours. Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm disabled. I'm just different able. You know what I mean?
Right.
I have different abilities than other people. Like I said, my people senses now are crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just different.
Since you lost your eyesight.
Right. But I mean, like, I can feel. You can like, literally
Then you're
feel.
open to the vibrations of the universe.
Right.
I mean, because you feel those vibrations all the time, but you don't recognize that is, I mean, that's a real thing. That's not a feeling that emanates from within. That's a feeling that comes from without.
You know how people say, remember when you came in, we talked about the cat, and I said the cat likes you?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know, if someone doesn't get along with my animals,
That's right.
I know that something's wrong. I believe that small children and animals are the same way with that.
Yep.
We teach our children a wrong move, in my opinion.
Right.
It's my opinion. But when, like, I had another friend who would tell her kids, give auntie a hug, give auntie a hug. They weren't huggy kids. It's okay if your kid doesn't want to hug somebody. And I would tell her, I know they love me. Don't make them give me a hug and a kiss.
Wow.
I want them to do that when they're comfortable. You know what I mean? I'm the adult. I'm fine.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I want them to become, but she's not the only one that does that. A lot of parents in my generation, at least, did that. You know what I mean? We've got to start letting our children trust their instincts.
Right.
It's just like women's intuition. We've got
very
to trust
strong.
it.
I trust it 100%.
You know, and
I
just,
really do.
It's a gift that's given to us. You know
I
what mean?
believe it, and
believe
we
it.
need to accept it. It's
Right.
not that's what you know what made me realize that vibration that you feel around certain people comes from outside and not inside you.
Mm-hmm.
Is when that man I was renting from in Florida, the day that he really hit hard and said he wants to go to Tennessee and all of that stuff, from the minute I walked in to his shop, I could feel that negative, yucky vibration.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I know at times when I felt that before, I thought it was because I had an attraction to the person. I thought it was me. It's not me, because I wasn't attracted to that motherfucker even a tiny bit, not for a millisecond.
No.
But I felt that. And that's when I realized, fuck, that comes from him.
Right.
And
It's
I'm
the energy.
feeling it. I'm feeling his fucking energy, and I don't like it. And now I'm pissed off at all the motherfuckers who sent me that energy.
But now, but you have to take that energy and know how to read it differently.
Because some of it's good, and
even if it's bad. You know, in life you have lessons and blessings. In the end, turn those lessons into blessings. When you feel that awful feeling,
now I know.
You know what I mean, right? Turn it around.
Well, yeah, I will.
That's your early warning system now.
But that was like, I have felt that before and didn't realize it wasn't a feeling I had.
But you probably, because
it's a feeling that came from him.
It was probably turned off in you years ago. We're told to not trust our feelings and to act a certain way.
Right.
Behave accordingly.
Yeah.
Because this is what society wants us to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What I'm trying to say is no, roll with that feeling.
Oh, of course I will.
You know?
Yeah.
But we were programmed differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we were programmed.
That feeling is one that's generated. And if you can have that kind of communication from his body to mine, we have all kinds of communication between our bodies and other people's bodies.
Definitely.
And when you feel that kind of vibration, it's coming from someone else.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just, and that was just, for me, the only reason I'm bringing it up is because that was an epiphany for me. When I saw him do that, and I wasn't feeling it at all, but I still felt that thing in my chest. Right. That was an epiphany. It was like, holy fuck.
Right.
Now I feel like I have a superpower.
But you do. And the thing
and we do. We all do. It is a superpower. Yeah. It is a superpower.
But don't you feel like someone raised you to...
Oh, of course. Yeah.
You know
or they didn't teach me that my feelings...
counted.
No. See, here's the thing. Nobody ever said... When you feel that energy, it's coming from someone else. It's not you don't own it. It's somebody else is sending you that. Nobody told me that.
Yeah.
Nobody told me that. And so when I would feel the energy, I was just trying to figure out what it meant. And since it's not something you could see or hear, I just thought it was because I was feeling a certain kind of way. Nobody told me when you feel that, the other person is sending it.
But that's the same thing.
Absolutely fact.
When people are saying that they sense someone is a racist towards them, and they sense it, why don't we believe that? We are now you have men standing up online saying they finally believe that women are not liking how men are coming at them. So why can't we extend that and believe what everybody says they're feeling?
Well, because you don't want to believe it.
We need to
because you're threatened. Here's the thing. Well, when it comes to racism, it's because the person who is racist, I believe, feels like they're inferior and they fear that if a black person is equal, then they themselves will be the inferior on the bottom. Well,
You know what I mean?
no, I know that, but I'm just saying
what I'm
it's a
with them, they want
psychological
more.
problem, right?
You know what I
We
mean?
need to start making psychiatry be the same as primary care physicians. You have to get a psychiatric evaluation before you get treatment for certain kind of disorders. We should not allow primary care physicians because there are a lot of mentally sick people, most of them racists, who if we treated mental health care like we treat our primary care,
Right.
they would get help.
Right.
And it's
Like,
just
it's a
as maybe
disease.
more
You
important.
don't tell someone with cancer to get it together.
Right.
So why would you tell someone with mental illness to get it together? You know
Right.
what I mean, it doesn't work like that.
Because they themselves have mental issues, and when they see somebody else unstable, it scares the fuck out of them that they might eventually slip down into that. That scares them because they can see themselves being that way, and so they try to villainize it, and that way they, you know what I'm saying?
Right? No, but I mean,
What you hate is the thing that you in fact hate the most about yourself.
Right. Definitely. Definitely.
Anyway, are you guys enjoying this? Because I'm not even paying attention to what you guys are saying, but I'll go back and read it later if I can. Hello, hello, hello. We're having a great conversation here.
I think people just need to learn to just, I don't know, it comes down to just love one another.
Love each other. That's what
You
we
know
need
what I
to
mean?
do.
Whatever
Yeah.
you feel and whatever you go through, other people are going through the same thing at one time or another.
Right.
You know what I mean? Compassion goes so far, for Pete's sakes. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? A little compassion and some understanding can totally change a person's day. You know what I mean? Like, look at you coming here. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to do this.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? Like, legit, you didn't have to. And I mean, it'll probably carry me on for months.
I am so happy I did,
You know
though.
what I mean? You don't know how happy I mean, literally how happy I am. Because I don't get people. You know what I mean? Nobody checks on any people who come in my life are people who are paid to be here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when you get to that point in sickness, I've been sick for a long time. You can only not be able to go out with people and do stuff for so long before they stop calling. You know what I mean? That's just facts.
Right. They move
You know?
on. They get distracted with their own life.
Well, I know, like, a lot of times, like, you know, if you're involved with any, agency or whatever, they're like, well, don't you have someone who can do blah, blah, blah? No. You know what I mean? Because I've been sick now a long time.
Right.
You know what I mean? People go about their business after a while. You can't
Don't
fault
you
them
have
for it.
someone to do... Oh, that's so... Well, yeah, I would if you'd say you'd do it for me. How about you do it for me, motherfucker?
I'm not going to lie. If someone gives me their word, I'm not going to lie. I had a really good friend who was supposed to cook me something for my birthday. And they let me think they were going to cook it for my birthday for months. And I didn't get a call on my birthday. I didn't get, nothing from that person.
Maybe it just slipped their mind. Did you remind them my birthday's coming
3
up
days
and I
before
want
they
some
do.
food? Oh, okay.
So if you do 3
Oh,
days before,
that's...
but you kind of get used to it. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm not trying to sound pathetic or not. I'm just saying it
It happens.
It
It starts to happen so frequently that you
know what I
get used
mean?
to. Well, I'm
The thing is,
so
the
happy I could come.
agencies that say to you, when you are someone in my position, they shouldn't be telling you you have to. Don't you have? If you say you have no one, you have no one. No one's gonna lie about that. Why would you say there's?
Why would you? Yeah.
Like, but they're like...
It's like the funeral parlor when I got my mother...
In my bedroom?
Right,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
I'll send the cat out and see what he brings back.
Well, I used to tip the pizza guy pretty good. He would have done anything I wanted him to do.
The girl who was here yesterday, literally, she's trying to tell me I keep the cat litter box in the shower when I'm not in the shower.
Right.
I'm only in the shower, 3 or 4 times a week if I'm lucky, if they send somebody.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to tell me to keep it over here by the door. And I said, but I'm the one who does the cat litter. You know what I mean? At least I can do it when I'm in the bathroom.
Right.
And then once a week, the girl takes it out for me.
Right.
But I'm like, over here, when people come in the door, they've kicked it over.
Right.
Well, I'm just trying to tell you what's better.
Better
How
for
you gonna tell
whom?
me what's better in my house?
Better for
me?
whom?
Like, I'm disabled. I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? I know what works for me.
And better for whom? Better for you? Better for whom?
I'm like, the things that people say sometimes, and I mean, to be honest, the girl was probably maybe 20. If she was 25, I'd be amazed.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Yeah, I got book smarts too. But
that
if you
doesn't
told me
matter.
to choose book smarts or people sense and life skills,
Right.
I'm going to tell you what, I'd keep my street smarts any day of the year.
Yeah.
Because that's helped me to survive.
Right. I couldn't survive unless I. Yep, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, I like school. You know what I mean? But I like surviving a lot more. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
And I've always been a people
I'm gonna
person.
put my feet here. Can I put my
You
feet
can
here?
put your, I'm going to tell you.
I know.
Mine is
I know.
yours.
Whatever. Yep.
As long as you don't try to steal the cat, we good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to steal
I
the
don't
cat.
think your boys and the little Freckles would like that.
Oh, that would go really
Freckles
bad.
is absolutely adorable.
Isn't she adorable? I wish.
I hope you get to come back by because I'm gonna sign that. But you know what? That's the other thing. I done got my chair all energized up. I bought sunscreen because I ain't seen the light of day. I want to see the bus.
So tomorrow, before I leave, I'll be leaving tomorrow morning. I approve of your parking area, and we'll just have to block people from being able to come in or go. But tomorrow after.
Well, the landlord already gave permission. You know how you're like in the circle. Even if you had to park, you could turn in the circle, and then like on the way out before the office, you could park there. She already said that. I called and asked her too, because just in the event she got a little funny.
Okay. Yeah.
Forearmed, forewarned is to be forearmed.
So I would just come in and turn around in the circle and then go out and park over there, and you can motor. You can motor your wheelchair over.
The only thing I would need your help. See,
I'll help
if you. Look at the door, like the other ramp. That's another thing you should show the people. The ramp. I had a ramp over there with railings.
It's perfect. Yeah, I saw it.
That was my ramp since 2007 until this March. She moved me in a worldwide.
And you have to go a corner.
Four lung diseases. She moves me in a worldwide pandemic into an apartment that didn't even have a running shower. I didn't have face plates over my electrical sockets in my kitchen. I'm blind. I could have zapped myself to death.
Right.
Now there's a little ramp, but it's not like what my other ramp was. It's more like a lean. There's no railing. There's supposed to be railings leading me all the way out because the other one had a path and everything. This one doesn't have any of that. It was supposed to be done by spring. Welcomed it summer. I still don't have it. She tells me, I said, if there's a fire, Lynn, how do I get out of here? I got to get myself out of the bed, get into the wheelchair. She tells me on 6.5 liters of oxygen. I said, I deal with facts and numbers.
Right.
9 out of 10 times, if there's a fire, it's going to be in the kitchen.
Right.
That's statistic.
She says you have to go out the front door.
She wants me to go out the front door. So you want me on 6.5 liters of oxygen to drive towards the fire. And so she said, oh, otherwise you can go out the back door and flop around till someone finds you. Or flop around, someone will find you.
She fucking said that.
And well, you heard him telling me to poop in a bag. Like, I mean, no one would believe the things that, you know what I mean? That's why I have the cameras on in this house. Because no one would believe the things. And you took a job, and you are the property manager of disabled elderly housing. But yet, you talk to disabled people like they're nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
she said that shit to you?
Flop around, someone will find you. That's a direct quote. And, I mean, you see there's no... The ramp is like a little lean, but there's no railing at all.
And when you fucking fall down, you shatter both fucking ankles.
She knows the things that has happened because if you come out of here in an ambulance, they're so damn nosy.
How did you avoid eviction? You said she was trying to evict you.
She was trying to evict me, and I told her she had to prove that it was that I was... Because I'm not putting the cat litter down the toilet. I had a little thing that sits on top of it. Because my last cat went to the bathroom in the toilet. I got videos, the whole nine. I had that cat for 13 years. So then she saw, the maintenance man saw the bag that said flushable cat litter. And
so he just assumed.
If you ask me, I would tell you. Flushable cat litter, this kind is made of corn. There's no dust. I can't inhale the dust.
That's
But
why I have flushable, but I don't put it in the
When he
toilet.
came in here, I did not know he was coming. I got myself out of my bed, pulled myself to the kitchen garbage can, opened the garbage can, pulled out an ice cream container. You can go on my refrigerator right now on top. I got empty Friendly's ice cream containers. I take the cat litter and I put it in there and I put the top on it because I only have help a certain amount of days a week. So I don't want the whole house smelling like cat poop and pee. So I put it in a container and then I put it in the trash. I didn't know he was coming. I said, if I was flushing it, would that really be in there? So then they changed it to, I'm not putting that down the drain. Then it changed to the kind of toilet paper I'm using. Well,
are you fucking kidding me? They were going to evict you for the toilet paper you?
And I've got their men on tape saying it's not me. I'm not you. It's not me with the cat litter, and it's not. And I said to them, they brought me whatever their brand of toilet paper was.
That's harassment.
And I said to them, I just want 2-ply toilet paper. I don't care what brand name it is. I'm not wiping with my hand.
Right.
I want 2-ply. That's all I care about. I don't care if it's Charmin. I don't care if it's... I mean, I use Stop and Shop.
They were blaming your brand of toilet paper.
Got it all on video. Every last ounce of it. That's why I have those stickers on the door that says when you come in here, it's on video and you're complying. Because it's one thing, you know, there's a camera right over there.
Oh, yeah, that's what those are.
There's, I mean, like, it has literally gone insane. And it's like, you know, I'm getting sicker, and the sicker I'm getting, the harder
the more they're
trying
pressing
to make
you.
my life. Like, the move damn near killed me. Like, literally, legit, damn near killed me. You know what I mean? I'm just now starting to get some strength back. You know what I mean? I can't even, like, my neck muscles are so weak that I have to use these hard pillows now. I mean, it's just like there's no... Why would you not have electrical... Why would you not have a shower that had running water? And then when they finally fixed the water, then I had water but no hot water. You know what I mean? Like, why put me through all of that? Why couldn't you have waited? You know what I mean? Then all of my spices are gone. Every last spice... I had a Lazy Susan over there. Every last spice is gone. All my side dishes. All my bowls are gone. I had to
When they moved it, you can't find it?
No, there's nowhere. I had to buy a new one of these. I had 3 of these, the white ones like this. I had 3 of them there gone. I mean, so much stuff. Sneakers. Nikes. I'm a big Nike fan. I have one sneaker, but I don't have the other one. How are just half of my sneakers gone? You know what I mean? You made it so that I can't use the sneaker. I have 2 feet.
Holy shit. You need a lawyer that fights for disabled people.
I was supposed to get... They were talking about removing one of them. I had foot surgery. And I had to have it on this one. And my big toe on this foot, if you look at it, I'll show you after, but it looks like my toe is missing, like half of it. The big toe looks like it's literally curled under. It's the weirdest looking thing. But anyways, they were talking about cutting off part, like my ankle. I was supposed to get that done, had the surgery date and everything. She told me they were going to move me with or without me. Yeah, I got it all. I got it all on tape. You know what I mean? Like, it's like one thing after another. Like I said to her when they were looming over my bed, and I mean, the maintenance man is a really nice guy. But one time she tried to tell, like, they were standing there, right? And she said, she was trying to tell me that she said something to me that she didn't say. And then she tried to get him to say, well, John, you tell her. And I stopped him right there and I said, hold on. You have a family. I know you have a family. And I said, Lynn, don't put him into this. You know what I mean? Because he wasn't there when you and I had our last conversation. So there's no way that he can validate that conversation. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know. I mean, sometimes she seems like the nicest person. And then other times... It's so devious, and you know what I mean? I mean, you heard on the phone.
They told her to shit in a bucket, in a bag.
In a bag.
They told this woman, who is bedbound and blind, that they can't get over here to fix her toilet. So could she please poop in a bag?
And the toilet problems have been going on since 2007. You know what I mean? Like, this lady took over 6 years ago. And it's crazy. It's the most insane thing you ever see.
So this problem was in place before she even
That's
took
why
over.
I say I believe it's a piping thing. You know what I mean? But that being said, like I said to her, the people who were here before her,
I think that they are violating your rights as a disabled
I believe so
adult.
too, and I tried to say that to her. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I mean, I don't think you need to say it to her anymore. I think you need a lawyer.
oh, you're probably right. But finding a lawyer that I can afford is a whole different.
Oh, no. Disability lawyers will take your case without you paying.
Well, I got to do something because it's, you can't be threatening my home. You're
all the time.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't, like, honestly, and I don't think I'm the best person in the world. I got lots of flaws. But my rent is paid every month on time.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've had an allotment of, a bill pay set up
Right.
for probably a decade.
Right.
You know what I mean? If the rent goes up, tell me and we'll change it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there's even times, honestly, she has helped me on the iPad change it knowing I can't see it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'll give credit where credit's due, too. You know what I mean? That being said, you know what I mean? If you know that, I'm in my bed all the time, I can't do nothing else.
And they're telling her to poop in a bucket because they can't get somebody over here.
It's so crazy.
And he can't do anything with it because he's got a broken arm. And the way he was talking to her
but he did just have major surgery. He did have a bad break. But I think
you have to call the housing and have the landlord violated before you can get a lawyer. So you have to try yourself to follow the chain of command. Go above their head and turn them in. And if nothing is done after that, then you have a good lawsuit.
Oh, I mean, the things that,
because if they're doing this to you, let me think about this. If they're doing this to you,
I said that. Then you're doing.
Who else are they doing it to?
She made me prove that I was blind. She had me get a thing from the doctor, right, and say. Now I told them. I said, I can.
Now you were living here before she came to work here.
Oh yeah, I was living here.
And then she made you prove you're blind.
All right. Now the blindness only been the last 2 years. But still, she knew I was 100% disabled when she got here.
Right.
I've had the bone and the lung disease, forever. My thing is, you make me prove I'm blind because you're supposed to give notices and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're putting the notices in the mailbox. I've told you for years, A, you're not supposed to put paper in a mailbox that doesn't go through the mail system.
Right.
You're breaking a federal law.
Right.
Does it matter? She says one day we're going to build things, but still 6 years later, it's still not built. The next thing, I tell her I can't get out there to get the notices. I put that little basket thing on my door. Can you have them put in the door? They came to my door twice and put them in there. So then it was proved that I'm blind, so I proved it. She said, well, you might be able to get a surgery to get one of the cataracts removed. I said,
she's trying to tell you what? She's trying to give you a doctor's advice?
Because of my lungs, I don't qualify. I'm not just not getting surgery because of COVID. I don't qualify to be put under for
because
elective
of your lungs.
Surgeries
right.
because of my lungs.
Right.
Like, hello, you know what I mean? Like, it's one thing after another. Then I said to her, when I got here, the heating and cooling was really messed up. I have breathing problems. It can't be too hot and it can't be too cold.
Right.
So I said they have thermostats that you can, that will speak to you.
Right.
Now she wants me to fill out another thing to prove I'm blind again. How many times do you need to talk to my doctor? I'm not going to get any, you know what I mean? Like, the condition gets worse every 3 days, but still.
That could be a bureaucratic rule and not her rule. It could be that she's required to submit one of these statements every time she asks for something special for a blind person.
Why isn't the ramp built? That the ramp was supposed to be built in spring. I have that on my lease on the paperwork saying that I would have.
Have you asked her why the ramp's not built?
She has an excuse. Well, the people they're busy or whatever. That's supposed to do it.
So why did you say it could be done if it can't be done?
It's not my fault that they're busy. Find someone else to do it.
I think the new tenant wanted the corner.
You know what I mean?
The corner unit.
She told me I was going to be able to get my apartment back.
And then she gave it to somebody else.
And then the next thing I know, they moved them in. And then it really bothered me. That's what really got me mad was that you put I was told, I have not seen him. I have seen the wife. But I was told that he's 82 years old and totally wheelchair bound. Totally. And you put him in the same situation that I was in, and you know what I mean? Like, why? Like,
Right.
how deplorable can you be? And then you come in and I have a relationship with God, but don't come in here and throw your religion on me the way you practice it, and like I'm beneath you. Like, no, you know what I mean? Because you're not doing read what your Bible says you're supposed to treat, how you're supposed to treat disabled, crippled, blind people. Look it up. Google is free. You know what I mean? If you don't want to read the book, you can go fast with Google. Like, it just kills me.
Right.
You know, and it's hurtful because you start to feel like a throwaway person. You know what I mean? You just start
when
to
they
feel like...
discount your voice
Yeah.
and take it and tell you to poop in a bag. They told her to poop in a freaking bag.
I mean, you heard it.
You should call the ADA hotline, somebody said. Call the ADA hotline, the Americans with Disabilities Act. Call ADA hotline. I will look that up for you before I go.
Have them send me a message it to me. If they message it to me, it's on a black background, and I can
you message
blow it
that
up
to
on
Purple? Well, they have to be your friend to message you.
Well, you can friend me.
Wait, go. Well, are you in the live? Here.
I think it's a different speed. Oh no! Now I'm sitting up.
Yeah, you're
I'm
delayed.
behind,
You're delayed.
Oh,
Everybody
okay.
is delayed. That's why sometimes at the end of my live, I'll go 1001, 1002, 1003,
Like my new
1004.
bracelet.
Oh.
It's my emergency call thing. It's ugly, I know.
Let me see. I'll
Right.
tell him. I will tell him.
Momo, say hi to the people. Say, my name's Momo. I'm Lil Mo. You mommy boy. You my boy. But see, they could have, like, this apartment here was empty for over a year. So they could have gone underneath here during that year
And fixed
and
it.
fixed the plumbing problems. And then before they put someone in there, if they weren't going to put me back and they were going to put somebody else or whichever, they could have done the same there. But they don't, they want to save the money. But
That's
meanwhile,
ridiculous.
like, I mean, I've had floods, and then they tell me, like, well, you should have apartment insurance. You know what I mean? Like all the stuff that's missing during the move, like, I'm supposed to make a claim on that. Well, why do you have people in here stealing my crap? I mean, it's nuts. And to be honest, I do have apartment insurance, but now I have to have somebody look it up because I can't see who I paid.
Oh no!
You know what I mean? Like, people don't realize when you've had your site your whole life. I got really upset. I don't know if you know North Omaha Cat Lady online.
I do. I blocked her, but I do.
Well, me and her have a problem because I had, like, I've written to you and said, when you just have the thank you, when you just have the writing up there, if you don't have to read it all word for word, but give me a general idea what it says.
Right.
Include.
That's what I started
and
trying to do.
And
I started
but
trying
you told
to.
me that, and you told me the time, and then it was a minute limit at the time. But
right.
All right, and other creators have done the same thing very nicely.
Right.
She made a whole video towards me saying that she had a blind friend who's been blind since birth and that I'm not educated. You're right, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah, I
They're
don't like
trying
her.
to get me some help as we speak.
I don't like her.
But in the meanwhile, why do you have to be so mean and discriminatory? You say you don't believe in discrimination. Well, you just discriminated the hell out of me because I'm newly blind. I don't count. Or I'm supposed to have an instant education in blindness?
Or do you think that everybody who is blind has been blind since birth?
Right. I mean,
you have a friend. Is that like saying you have a black friend so you know?
I mean, it was just so...
Is that your token blind friend? I mean,
it really
Jesus,
hurt me. I mean, it hurt me.
I'm
And then it
so
pissed me
sorry.
off.
I am
You know what I mean? 'Cause
so
I was just
sorry.
like, I had followed her You know, for a while I had followed her. And I just thought, and you work in the school system with children? I wouldn't let you 2 feet near my child or anybody's child who I knew. Like, how can you do that?
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, not everybody has the same situation.
She made a shade-throwing video to me, too.
She never asked me how long I had been blind or anything. She just said she had a blind friend, and her
that
blind
you're
friend,
a piece of shit for asking her to have consideration.
You know what I mean? Right, that her friend said that, you know, I should, or not me per se, but people should be educated. You're right. But it takes time to do all that. And I've got a whole bunch of other things falling apart in the move going on.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
Like,
yeah, I don't blame you for being upset. Yeah.
Oh, I was totally upset. And then her little friend, you know, joined in with her, Mia there.
She jumped on you too?
And I was just like, you know what I mean? I just thought it was awful. I thought it was deplorable. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. And then
it really is.
And you're both supposed to be fighting discrimination.
Oh my God.
I don't care who you discriminate. I don't care if it's sexually. I don't care if it's disability. I don't care if it's skin color. I don't, you know what I mean?
See, they get an idea in their head about somebody, and then it turns into a mob bully mentality.
But all I did was
and that is why I blocked every single one of the other big BLM creators, because I can't handle that shit.
Though. You know what I mean?
I
just wanted to know what was being said.
I get it.
You know, I know you did. Because
I truly have empathy, though.
Right. But I mean, like, it was just like, why are you coming at me? I'm being vulnerable and telling you I got a problem. You know I follow your stuff. So how hard is it to include me? You know, and I write inclusion is everything.
Right. You were never, yeah.
I don't think I'm rude about it.
And I think the fact that you're able to get in there and write to them, all you do is listen to them talk. I think I have so much respect for all the people that spend so much time in my lives and commenting that aren't negative.
Right.
Because you have to work.
Right.
I'm just sitting here running my mouth.
Right.
You guys are captive audiences. If you're listening.
The dictation, though, the app needs to work on what they do for blind people.
Right. I agree.
They've now helped, the deaf people. They need to help the blind people.
I think they do too.
The dictation on here. I sent somebody a message saying, texting is hard for me. I can do it, but I can't do it for long.
And did they say sexing is hard?
They thought I wanted to sex. Boy was like, I'm coming right over. I'm like, coming over where? You ain't coming over here, buddy. No, you ain't. You come at your house, but you ain't coming at mine. But I was like, I didn't know what, I was like, what is making you talk like this to me? He was like, didn't you just say you wanted sex? I said, no, I don't want to text. I'm like, oh, Lord. But you can't see it.
But you can't see it.
So, you know what I mean? Like,
so you just,
like,
voice to text it, and then you click send.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, no, that's not good.
Yeah,
Don't you bring your butt over here.
Well, that makes me even 1,000 million billion times happier that I came to see you.
But see, like not only like that, but you had empathy just in that conversation, and you didn't when you first said. You said, "I will try. I only have a minute."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And since then you have. You know what I mean?
I tried.
I understand that a lot of people put stuff up as receipts. You know what I mean? But if you're going to say pause and read, pause and read, pause and read, pause and read, remember there's some people who
can't pause and read. Who can't pause and read.
So just give a little summary of it. Just to let us know. Just
do multiple videos.
Right.
Do multiple videos.
Right. You know
but,
what I mean? But people,
I guess they figure, but you really do care what they have to say.
Right.
That's the hurtful part.
Right.
Because you like what they have to say, and you don't want to miss any of it.
Especially if you're
you're not trying to be a cunt.
Right.
See you next Tuesday. Sorry, TikTok. Right. You're not trying to be that. You're trying to not miss anything they say.
Right.
And they attack you for it.
Right. Well, because they think you're trying,
You're a lazy blind person. They called you a lazy fucking blind person. You're a lazy blind person.
And you're like, and that's the other thing, you can't blow up. like you can't, like under the, where the
You
chap's
can't
on the
zoom
bottom,
it in. Yeah.
You can't blow
You
it
can't
up
zoom it up like you couldn't.
at
That's
all.
right. You can't
That
zoom
should
it
be
in.
able to. That should change.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if I, like this magnifying glass here, it's heavy as heck, but it's 100x. But you try holding this thing all day long.
It's heavy. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
it could be used as a weapon. It really could.
That's a real big eye. That might be the biggest eye I've ever seen.
It's like, but I mean, it's sad because you don't. And I'm not gonna lie. Like before I became blind, I really thought that. I thought that blind meant you just saw pitch black all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could be legally blind and see shapes. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Because there's times I can see a flower and it looks pretty to me. Probably not as detailed as it used to look.
Right.
But I mean, it still looks pretty.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that people, not just on TikTok, but in my life, because I've been honest about, yes, I'm blind, but I can see some things, then they take it a different kind of way. You know what I mean? It's like, well, what do you want me to do? Lie to you and tell you I see nothing? Or people will say, well, when you talk, you look at me. Because I hear your voice.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's like normal.
Right.
I mean, it's like, okay, so you want me to sit like this next time? would I be blinder if I did that? People say the darndest thing because they just don't think. If everybody just took the time to think, if that was me, how would I feel? It would change everybody.
For even just a half a second.
Yeah.
Well, I did. When you asked me, I honestly did.
No, I know you did because you answered your response. It was immediately.
Right.
You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I think you even apologized and said you didn't think of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I have had other creators say that. And
But see, I've also taken the time to learn sign language.
Right.
And I've never had a deaf family member, but I just know sign language because I love being able to communicate with people who are deaf when I bump into them.
Right.
I don't know anybody who's deaf, but whenever I bump into somebody who's deaf, I love being able to talk to them.
That, you know what I mean? That makes their world so much better.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. If we just,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Just a tiny bit. Not a lot. It doesn't take a whole lot.
No.
I can't believe.
If you just know somebody is trying. Like if you get a waitress and she's having a crappy day and you know it.
Right.
But if you're supportive of that waitress, she will be the best darn waitress you have
ever
9
had.
out of 10 times.
Well, I think that all of us, everybody in this country who grows up to be an adult should have to work in the food service industry in some way before they're allowed to walk into a bar or a restaurant and order a motherfucking thing. They should have to work there and see what it's like.
I used to have a guy who wore when I was bartending, he wore it was like a bolt around his ring, for a ring.
Oh, yeah.
And he would want to talk your ear off, and you had 8 million customers. I can only spend so much with each person.
Right.
And he would want to drop you like 15 cents. And like I said, I used to make good money.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You have 15 cents, buddy.
I do not come to work because I enjoy your company.
The minute you go to walk away, he'd tap that damn thing on the bar. That was the most insulting, ding, 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 ding. Oh, it would be so, I'd be like, you can keep it, Earl, keep it. You know what I mean?
Keep your 15 cents, right?
You know what I mean? Because I was good at what I did. You know what I mean? Like, you see a person coming in.
Oh, yeah. You got their drink all ready for them. Yeah.
Of course, then there was also the ones that kept walking right by and you had the drink ready. Hey, come here! I'll be back. Those are some of the best years of my life.
Yeah.
I worked in like one of the crappiest bars in town. You know what I mean? And every walk of life was in there. Like legit every walk of life. You know what I mean? And they were great people.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? Just absolutely. When I would go into the hospital, they would take up collections for me.
Wow.
I mean, they were really, everyone was like, I don't know, the people on Bank Street. The people on Bank Street did me quite nice, thank you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's awesome.
I had one time I got stuck in between a gunfight. That wasn't too good.
No, that would be no fun at all.
There was a big, like, pillar. And I come around the corner, and there was, like, a big, fight between one town and another town.
Oh.
And I come around I don't know what, I must have thought I was Superwoman or something. I probably still do. I come around the corner, and the guys from across the bridge came in with guns. And then the other guys pulled out their guns. And my boss was a little old man. And they called him Mr. Ed.
Mm-hmm.
And the one wall was all mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, like a solid mirror.
Mm-hmm. A big mirror.
And he would always say, "Don't you let no one break the mirror." And here are these guys with guns, and I'm thinking they're going to shoot the mirror, and I'm going to get fired. And my dumb butt stood right in the middle of all of them. And I was like, "I don't care. If you kill each other, you're doing it outside. Go outside." And they all turned around with their guns and went outside. And I was like, wow.
Oh, shit.
Meanwhile,
I did something similar like that when I was a manager, and I didn't think about it. I got right in his motherfucking face.
Right,
I mean, it was up here, but I was right in his face.
My legs, I've never ever had that feeling before or after. My legs were like spaghetti. My knees.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not, like I said, I've gotten in more bar fights than I can count.
Right.
But when they pull out weapons, it's a whole different story.
That's when, it's all fun and games
and
until somebody pulls out a gun.
Them,
Yeah.
What do?
You tell them to get the fuck outside.
I guess so. And it worked. I was so shocked.
I was like, wow.
Hey. I was like, I don't come to your job and do this crap. Don't you dare come to mine. Single file.
They write out. That's
Okay.
awesome.
See you later.
G-Man says that you will be in his thoughts, and he wishes you the best. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
He has to leave, and he said that you will be in his thoughts.
Thoughts and prayers back at you.
This is Purple Peace Lady, and she is a wonderful lady, and I am so glad I was able to get her to visit her. It took me a while, but
I just wanted to go visit my neighbor first, don't lie.
Oh, I walked into that lady's house. Holy shit, I'm lucky I didn't get shot. You walk into somebody's house and because you told me the door's open, just come in.
Yeah.
And so I rang the bell and just went in.
And the lady said she was me.
Oh, Purple Peace Lady Jacob Haglet says
Hi,
to
Jacob.
tell you that you are why he uses big text and voice in his videos.
Oh, thank you, Jacob.
That's right.
Much love.
That's right. Hi, Liberty Haglet. Sorry if I haven't said hello to anybody. I've just really been enjoying letting what is your real name?
Kimberly,
letting Kimberly talk. So
she's got 13 years stuffed inside her. No.
Yeah, she's been a shut-in for 13 years, and so
No, she's not Sir Mix-a-Lot. She's Sir Talk-a-Lot.
And that's okay. I'm happy to sit. Like I said, a big part of this trip is you guys have sat around and supported me and heard me tell all of my stories.
But you brought hope.
And
I haven't been this happy, and I can't tell you how long. Legit.
I'm so happy.
Like, literally legit.
Well, I'm really, I like that. That's why I'm so glad.
It has been, like the things I've told you about, it has just been...
It's been hell.
Since March, it has been one thing after another after another. You know what I mean? I mean, even when I got out of the hospital last year, all right? And I had to go to rehab at a nursing home. I fought to get out of there so they wouldn't mess with my disability check. Mm-hmm. You have to get out within 30 days.
Right.
I got out. These people have been sending my mail here. They know this because I call them and been saying, you're supposed to read me the mail. You know what I mean? The Social Security.
Right.
All right. And now I find out that now they reimburse me. But for almost 6 months.
They were still paying the nursing home?
They were thinking I was still in the nursing home. They had put my monthly check down to $230. They stopped paying my premium for the Medicare.
Oh,
so everything,
shit.
like when I tell you, like this move between this move and that. And I was like, why are you sending my mail here if you think I'm in the nursing home? Like, that don't even make no sense. You know,
So
I mean,
you
it's
know
like,
I'm not in the nursing home.
Right.
What the fuck?
And I've been sitting here telling you, because they started sending me large print. I don't care what, you know what I mean? Like, I can't see it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, if it's on the iPad and it has a dark background, I can blow it up. Or what I do a lot is I take a picture of it and then I tap it
Then you
twice
can
and
blow it up, right?
You know what I mean? But other than that, I can't. Anything with like a really white background, I'm
You
done.
just can't see it, yeah.
Well, it's too bright. If it's really bright,
Oh,
it's painful.
light, you can't.
Like,
it
people
hurts
don't realize
to
if
look.
they would just put like a little blue background or something, it could change people's lives.
Right.
You know, I've met other people that they're like, I can't even go online. And anything whether you call the cable company or anybody, everyone says to you, go to our website. Like, you try to get a human, and every number you push ends up telling you, you know, I mean, there's times they must think I'm insane in here because I'm yelling like, I'm blind, I can't go to your website. And like, stop it! You know? And then if you press 0, it used to be you press 0 and it'd take you to them.
Uh-huh.
Now you press 0, it hangs up.
It kicks you out, right.
I'm like, oh my gosh, no you didn't. After I just tried every selection and went back to the main menu. Tried the next, I'm like, like, and that was like.
Oh, I end up saying, I just fucking did that, you stupid bitch!
So mad.
And people around me are like, what the fuck?
Oh, I know I must look like an
yeah.
absolute insane woman.
Yeah.
I know they've got to hear me out there because there's something like 2 weeks ago I was just like, no. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You people are killing me here, and how am I, I got to pay rent. You know what I mean? Like, how am I supposed to pay rent?
I'll see if I can. You seem real hesitant about getting a lawyer. And
no, I'm not. If somebody,
I'll help you get that.
I would definitely.
I'll help you get a call from a lawyer. Can you? Do you have just a landline, or do you have a?
I have both. I mean, but I can put on the ringer. I mean, if I know someone's going to call, you know what I mean.
Right. But you can text me, or I'll text you, and tell me your number, and I'll get it added to mine before I leave. I don't need to pick this up. I'm sorry. But I'll add your number, and then I'll do some legwork for you on getting a disability attorney from Connecticut, and I'll explain to them. I'll give them a call, and I will explain to them your situation and that you are blind, and that I am doing the legwork so that you don't punch them through the phone.
Well, they don't. I mean, I think a lot of times people just don't understand.
Right.
Or everyone tells you, well, wait. You know what I mean? Like, how much longer can one person wait? You know what I mean? Like,
well, here's the thing. They are taking advantage of you because you're bedbound and homebound.
Right. That's exactly what I feel.
And so I will do the research and find a lawyer and do the legwork, call them and tell them your situation so that you don't waste any time. When you talk to them, they are already going to know.
No, I appreciate that.
Everything.
That's so kind.
And that way, because I hate for you to have to go through all of that. You're a new blind person. You're not a person who has been blind all your life. You're new, and you're trying to figure this shit out, and it's really frustrating.
You do is you're trying to figure something out.
Right.
Like, every time you turn around, you know what I mean?
Right.
It can be the easiest. Like I said, I had trouble opening the communion thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
You wouldn't think lifting a tab off something would be a big deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
everything you're trying to relearn.
You know what I mean? Like,
and you've also got to deal with the stress that there are so many people trying to push you into a nursing home.
Right. And I'm not
going. And they shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't have to put up with that shit. No. So I would happily try to run some interference for a disability attorney, and don't let me leave without exchanging a text with you.
I think that people don't realize, you know, because I think, like I said myself, until I got in the position.
Your lady is going to be here in 15 minutes.
Okay. Do
you have your shopping list?
No.
Okay. We're going to take a break, you guys, and you can get your shopping list together, and that way, because I just realized it's 2:15, and they said she's going to be here at 2:30. Say goodbye to Purple Peace Lady.
Bye-bye. Hope to see you again.
You will? Yeah. Someday, we'll see. Or I might go live again before we leave. Yep. We'll get her fixed up. We will get her fixed up. I promise we'll get you fixed
Bless
up.
y'all.
Love you guys. I'll talk to you later, and I'm really thankful that I came for this visit. I really am.
I'm thankful.